I have a question, and I think many people will be in the same situation. My home is 45 years old. The lawn was installed at conception, and it is still that same lawn. Therefore, I know, since I have not added much, that it's all old types of bluegrass. If I were, or if a lot of our listeners were to decide they want to thicken up their lawn, and what I have right now is a gas company repair in my front yard that they laid down some really nice sod, and it makes the rest of my lawn look pretty pitiful. It's been there for a year, standing real sassy emerald green against my older grasses. What would you tell somebody like me and others probably in the very same situation to do to get that lawn, call it revitalized, for a general question?
Well, some of the listeners might be wondering, why would you want to update a tried and true lawn that's hung in there for 45 years, no matter what's happened with Mother Nature, the dry years, the wet years, and all that. But as you say, the grasses that were around back then are not nearly as good as we have nowadays. And the blends that you can get nowadays could definitely update. But to get that seed in contact with the soil is tough when you have a lawn that's already growing there. So using a piece of equipment like a slit seeder or doing a lot of heavy dethatching and aeration so you can open the soil up would be the way to go if you were really trying to get grass growing throughout that old established lawn.
That would be my suggestion to myself and others. And I just wondered if there was anything that improved on that for you. The only time I've ever had any trouble with that is we intentionally mowed the client's lawn way low, and we were doing just about as close to September 1 to 15 as we could get it, and we did slit seed. And within approximately 10 days, there were these beautiful little rows of grass coming up in this short mowed lawn. And he called and was irate. I don't want a striped lawn. I wanted a full lawn. Well, I had to appease the gods, since he was the man with the checkbook in his hand and hadn't paid me yet, that those little rows would spread out, and they did, of course. But it was the only time I've ever had a complaint about slit seeding.
Well, and people that don't understand exactly what it's going to look like. But that slit seeder works very well as far as planting the grass seed. You just don't want to set it so it goes too deep, or you want to make sure that the seed does come in contact with the soil.
Excellent.